Hi there again. This is Vatsala Shukla on behalf of Kamikalai Coaching. Today I wanted to do a slightly different kind of a presentation in terms of how to do stress management. And I just thought, why not share some of the feng shui ideas that I have been using for years and which work very well. So here goes. And it's been a very hot summer in India, high temperatures, hot tempers, everybody's stressed out. So, hope you enjoy this presentation of mine. Now, basically, for those of you who don't know, Feng Shui actually means wind and water in Chinese, and it's a centuries-old Oriental art and used to, balance and harmonize our surroundings in order to bring good fortune, peace, and health. And the best part about Feng Shui is that when you practice it, it actually also benefits those who are around you, whether they're in your home or the people you interact with. And Feng Shui is actually based on the belief that the world around us is filled with energy or qi, which is very similar to pran in the Ayurvedic system. And in fact, what they call it, the Chinese, for them, the wind and water are actually symbols of health and good fortune. So, following from this premise that by boosting your chi and by living in harmony with the world's energy, you can bring success and prosperity to your life as well as to those around you, it stands to reason that Feng Shui can also help to alleviate stress. But what if you're not into optics? Not everybody's cup of tea. What about being practical? Some people may not want to be wearing, beads and coins or carrying them in their purse. So, from a more practical point of view, there are some layman tips that won't be conflicting with my or your personal views, and yet it could also help to alleviate stress. So I'm going to share five that have actually worked for me, and you could try one. You can try all. I'd love to know how your experiences. So here goes. The first one is, in fact, one that everybody knows. Anyone who's ever, had a headache and has gone to the optician only to find out that they needed to wear glasses, because of the bad lighting, would actually appreciate this. And in fact, one of the most important elements in Feng Shui involves the lighting of your rooms, and all the rooms in your office or your home should be very well lit. And a well lit room it helps us to benefit from a feeling of peace and comfort. Then the second one is another one which I think you'd all recognize, and that is to banish clutter. In fact, there are lots of coaches out there who actually specialize in helping people with clutter management. So in Feng Shui, they say, that everything, should be in its right place in order to promote calmness. Uh, as you can see in this photograph, I mean, it's quite cluttery. It's in fact quite a mess. So you can just get an idea about the state of mind of this person, which I don't think is a very nice one. In fact, back at my blog, I have actually written a post on, what does your stress actually, or rather, do you manage stress using the clutter route? And the link will be given, in the description in case you wish to read it. The third one is one which actually I learned when I was doing the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme way back when I was doing my A levels, and this one actually was taught to me by our interior decorator instructor, who's in fact a very well-known personality in India. And she always said that in making floor plans, that you should make sure that there's easy flow and movement, so that nobody goes around bumping anywhere. And this particular photograph shows that exactly. I mean, you're able to walk around this easy flow and movement, but there are also two caveats in Feng Shui, and that is one, to avoid sharp objects and corners in our decorations, and also to avoid overhanging shelves and objects. The reason being that sharp corners enhance tension, and if you have something hanging over your head, like that elephant over there, I mean that's a very bad idea from a Feng Shui point of view. It symbolizes a dark cloud, and dark clouds usually bring along with them thunder and lightning before there's any rainfall. And the fourth one is, decorating with nature. Now, many of us actually already keep potted plants near our kitchen sink, near the window. And that's actually a good feng shui idea. In fact, in feng shui, they say that, nature, use nature, decorate it, be in harmony with nature. So you can also keep a bamboo plant, fresh flowers, and other kinds of plants to help create a soothing environment. Now, here there's one caveat, and that is that, in fact, I learned it much later, that, it's not good to keep dried flowers or, dried plants in the house. It only promotes more tension. Uh, you know, uh, so if you're a potpourri person, I'd say, think again. Do you really love potpourri so much that you'd want to go against the feng shui principles? Again, it's a matter of choice and belief. And then the last one, which is my favorite, is actually using incense and aromatherapy as part of your stress management toolkit. And here, I'd like to point out that Eastern cultures, uh, especially amongst the Indians, the Hindus, Thais, and Indonesians, we use a lot of incense sticks in our rituals and prayers. Part of it is, in fact, to help promote, positivity in the environment. The other is the belief that, our prayers are carried upwards towards divinity with the help of these scented, sticks. And it stands to reason that even in the feng shui, they use a lot of aromas, as incense sticks. So aromatherapy, does tie up by a similar principle. Depending on which kind of a mood you want, you can burn in your container the right incense and benefit from it. So those were my 5 tips, and I hope they will be useful for you. And as a next step, I'd recommend that you download my self improvement strategies workbook. The link is given here. I'll give it again in the description. And I think that too would help you to benefit if you are stressed out about certain private areas of your life and you're not actually in the mood to talk to anyone, especially not a coach. So, in fact, I'd suggest download it so you can continue receiving exclusive tips that I share only with my fans and my subscribers. In fact, about this book, one thing I'd like to say is that many times, people have done a consult with me, then downloaded the book and said that, they found it, very, very useful, and then they've actually used the book along with my coaching in order to, improve themselves and to, overcome the problems that they're having that are creating a lot of grief for them. So enjoy yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.